Hi, everybody, and welcome to 2017. Happy New Year. I'm Christina Sanford, leadership coach and speaker and founder of Living Waters Leadership Institute. Okay, so over the last few weeks, we've taken a break from the leadership minutes that I've been posting, and during that time, I had an opportunity to really do some soul searching, and also in that same period of time, I received some feedback from all of you, or many of you. And what I was hearing in the emails and in the inboxes that I received is that you guys want to hear a little bit more about me. So I'm going to share a little bit more about me today, and we're going to talk a little bit about vulnerability over the next few minutes. So I'll share a little story with you just about taking the leap and about what it means to truly be vulnerable. Many people think of vulnerability when they think of, maybe sharing your emotions with a team member or letting them see you cry or something like that. But vulnerability shows up in many different ways, and sometimes it shows up when you choose to be courageous. And I'll tell you about a time when I was courageous along with my family, my husband and my family. I currently live in Las Vegas, Nevada. However, I haven't always lived here. In fact, almost 10 years ago, we all picked up and we moved from Detroit to Las Vegas. That was about a 2,200 mile change from the Midwest to the West. And when we made that change, right before we made the change, we started to feel kind of a shift spiritually that was happening in our community, in our home, in our relationships at home. And what we started to notice as we followed the shift is that we heard God saying, maybe it's time for you to get up and leave. Now, that was a very strange concept to me because I've always lived in the Detroit area and my family is there. And so part of my husband's family was there too. And so for both of us, it was like, whoa, what is going on here? And so we started praying about it. And as a result of prayer and just guidance and confirmation, within a few months, we were packing up our things to move from Detroit to Las Vegas. And what's interesting about the move and what's vulnerable about the move we made almost 10 years ago is that not only did we get up and leave from a place that we were comfortable and where our families were and we were familiar, but we left without telling anyone far ahead of time. So what we didn't do is ask for the opinions or the permission from people that were around us, whether it was family, friends, whomever. What we understood at that point and over time have begun to understand more is that when you're on a call of God, there's no need for you to get permission from anyone else because He is the ultimate source and He's the one who's directing your life. He orders our steps and He tells us exactly where to go, what to do, and when. And so it was very foreign to us not to share with our family because over the course of time, we had become pretty codependent with our family, which is totally not a healthy thing. And many families are codependent in that way. They ask for permission or opinions from family in order to make decisions in their lives when, in fact, it's important to get wise counsel from others. But it's not good for you to ask permission for you to move in your life in the way that God has already specifically told you to move. And so our vulnerability was not necessarily with just jumping and moving because we were sure of that. But the vulnerability came and the susceptibility to ridicule and scrutiny came when we left or told our families we were leaving about 20 days before we actually pulled the U-Haul out of our driveway in Detroit and headed for Las Vegas, Nevada. That's where we were making ourselves vulnerable because what ensued after that was very painful for so many of the people involved, not just us, but our family members because they didn't know and they were accustomed to us getting permission. And so, what I want to share with you guys today is number one, don't ever be afraid to do what God has called you to do. Don't ever be afraid to do it without permission from others. Counsel is good, it's biblical. But what's not good is getting permission from others to follow your dreams, to follow your vision, to follow your goals in life. And secondly, just remember that when you put yourself out there and you make the big leap, it's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it. I have never turned back. I have never looked back from that moment that we pulled out, or my husband and our best friend who was helping him drive across country, as they pulled out of the driveway that afternoon, that evening, in August of 2007. I never turned back. And not one moment have I ever regretted that decision. In fact, it's one of the best decisions that I have ever made in my entire life. And not only did it open the door of opportunity for me in so many ways, with business, with my career, with my husband's career, with our children and their growth, but it opened a new world spiritually for us. And we were able to see that once you take the jump, whoever you want to call it, I call it God, you might call it the universe, but the universe or God stands up and supports the decision that you've made in walking or leaping in faith. And so take the leap of faith today. Vulnerability is going to happen if you're leading anything or anyone. And just remember that if you're willing to be vulnerable, then that also says that you're willing and ready to reap the rich benefits of what vulnerability brings. So I want to encourage you guys today, take the leap. Whatever it is you've been thinking of doing this year, whatever it is that you have been dreaming about, but were waiting to hear someone else say it was okay, I'll tell you, even though you don't need my permission, it's okay. Go for it, do it. You only live one life, and when you live your life, make sure you live it not for others, but for yourself and for the glory of God. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day and a purposeful day, and I'll see you guys next week.